Okay, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I may need the title, but I'm not sure yet. So I just don't like it yet. So I'm going to reposition this, and by the right, I will check the template size. I will change this to maybe 80, and then template pattern I can put it 10 or 5. I think 5 should be fine for me. And here I'm going to now insert. I'm not going to put data yet, but here I'm going to now insert first of all an icon. So let me look for an icon. Any icon is fine. So I'm going to use this. I'll place it nicely here, and then I will say the width should be 30, the height should be 30, and the position actually should be fine. Okay, height 30, width 30 should be here. And then the next thing I want to include here is a label. Okay, so the height of the label should be maybe 20 or 30. I can put it 30 for now, see what it's about. 30 is not really good for me. I'm gonna put it 20, and then I will take it all the way down, and then I'll make sure that the width is parent. Now, not parent.width at this time, but it's going to be parent.template width. So if you see, parent.width is going to be way longer. All right, so I'm going to take this out and call it template width. So it's going to be the same size with what I want. Simple. And when this is done, the next thing I want to do is to provide the items property of the gallery, the data that feeds it. And the data that feeds it is called side menu dot app menu. Now, where did I get this? We have a side menu here, and inside the side menu, I created a property called app menu. That is where I got the side menu dot app menu, and it provides me with what I need here. So here, which is a test, all I need is this item dot screen name. So you have the screen name, all of them will be placed here. Make sure that you put this up. I mean, you can decide your designs. I put this to middle, and then I can change this to 10, make it look a little better. Okay, I save this. I don't want it to, so for my icon, I'm going to say this is going to be this item dot screen icon. So you can see my screen icon now appears correctly the way I want them against each of them. If I now go to my screens, I will have these individuals, but do not worry. The fact that this is the face does not mean that they won't appear correctly. Once we finish our design, all these things should be correctly. Now let's go back to components. Well, you get the feeling of what we are trying to share, the reusable components that you can create and utilize within your applications. Okay, so now we have this. You can create a field of clickability, like the onSelect, to add the onSelect function. So to add this onSelect function, I'm going to add a button. Okay, and the button is going to come over the icon. Since our icon already is 30 width and 30 height, I'm going to make our button 40 width and 40 height so that it will be able to cover all. And I'm going to make the X part of this to be icon 1. So that's icon 1. Yes, dot X. plus, or now we're looking at x, so x is going to be x minus the extra padding that we gave, which is 10, so it will place it nicely. Okay, so if you look at now, understand the analogy. Okay, so if you look at this is 30, so 30 minus 40 should be 10. 10 divided into 2 would be 5. That way all we are supposed to do here is 5 and not 10. But since we want to make this nail wide enough so that it can be clickable, all we can do is increase the width of this again. The height should be 50 and the width should also be 50. That way it will be wide enough. Now if I use minus 10 or plus 10, it should place it nicely the place I want it to be. So here I had used icon x, the x-axis of icon minus 10. In this in the y-axis, I'm going to place the icon x, not x now, icon.x or .y-axis now minus 10, and it will place it nicely well. Next thing I need to do is to get rid of the writing here and then get rid of the background color. Right now we are trying to add the button, so we'll be able to have the on-click effect. So when I go to my on select, all I have to do is say navigate, because I want to move to a different screen. I want to navigate this item.go to, so the screen name that we have provided. Okay, and then I'm going to save this. This should be done. If you want to do additional maybe additional effects, the next effect that you can do is on this name or anything that you want, you can do that much later. So you can say take this out and say if this item dot is selected, so you can make this maybe bold, else make it normal font, and you will see that this is now bigger. If you select this, it will be big. If you select another one, it will be big. So those are the things that you can play around, and these things still have a hover effect. I'm going to take this out, so I'll scroll down here and take the entire color out, and then for the hover effect I will select no color. So now hover doesn't have no. If I click it, it's now yeah, fantastic. It's taking me to the next screen. Okay, okay, so if I click it, nothing happens. Let me see. Yes, it's blinking out, so I don't want that blinking out, so I'm going to take it out and look for the pressed. So when I press this, it says save.color. So instead of being save.color, I want it to be transparent. Okay, so that when I click on it, it doesn't have to be this. Yes, good. So now that I have this here, there is another thing I can do to have everything aligned. I can do this remove. Now this remove is because I'm trying to do an update, not because it's necessary. Okay, so once I'm done with this update and I put it, I'll put them back. Save my application, and if you want to add, if this is very long, please, you can also resize it. And again, there are some times that you might have screens that are bigger or smaller. You might want to make your height dynamic so that it will be able to contain regardless of the screen size that you're using. Okay, that's one of the things that you need to take care of. Okay, we have created our side menu. The next one we want to create is a title bar. Okay, so I'm gonna call this title bar. Okay, and the title bar is going to have the way you have this height. Remember, we had a height here. Okay, the same way we have height here. If we go to title bar, we are not looking at height at this time around. What we are looking at is the width. So I'm going to look for the width here, and I'm going to put this. So, but see, if I put this here, I must change this to width and not leave it at height. So I'm going to remove this and make it minimum width, and it's going to put the width for me. Now the height I want for this is 70. Okay, so I make it 70. If I want to make it bigger, I can make it bigger. And now that I have 70, you remember that. Okay, let me show you what would happen. Let me not just tell you, but I just want to show you. So when I come here, let me go to screen 1, and then I insert a custom side menu. It will go to my side menu, right? And when I insert my title bar, it will take the entire screen. I don't want it to take the entire screen. You see that? So you can do something by making this take the width that you want it to take. I mean, if you want it to take this and you can control the background color, that is fantastic. And there's one way that you can control the background color in case. Let me just do a background color on it so that I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the background color I'm gonna put here is gonna be black, and then I'm gonna save this, and I'm going to switch back to my application. And if you look here, you will see that it's now covering our dear image avatar. Okay, you can move this forward. So reorder this, bring it to front, and then our side menu should be able to take effect. But remember, our side menu is transparent. I mean, it has no background, so you will still be seeing this behind. So if you have a background color, one way to deal with it is to put the background color to cover all of this so that it wouldn't show. But if you don't want to deal with it using a background color, you can also make the height or width of this less by what you have. So maximum this minus the width that you want to use there, which is 112. Now, if you make this 112, okay, and come back to this app, you would see that the width has shortened, and you can now drag this and place it where you want. Because I know that this width is 112. But there is another thing you can also do. You can also make this dynamic by creating something here. We can call this minus width or minus whatever. So call it minus navbar. Okay, I call it minus nav, and I'm going to call this a number, not a text. And when I call this a number, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to put this number, I'm going to make this 112, and when I come to this width, and I'm going to say self dot minus nav. So when I say save minus nav, I'm going to save, and when I come to my application, see what happens. Okay, so if I click on this component and I change this to 200, you will see that the size keeps reducing. If I decide to change it to 600, it will keep changing. You understand? Now, what you can do here, another thing that you can do here is take this. What is the name? The name is side menu _1. You can click here and say, or no, here, select this, click here and say side menu _1 dot width, and it will give you what you want. So you don't have to enter a figure. You see, we used the width of this to provide it what the figures or the value we need, and that solves our problem. And now our app is looking like something that we want. So next thing you want to do also is maybe give this a background color. If you go to your component, you can select the side menu, add a custom value, and call this BG color. Okay, when you call this BG color, you change this to a color type. So we have color here, we have all types of data types. So I'm going to select color here and I'm going to create. And when I create, I'm going to set this color to -1. So transparent black on 10% transparency. That's black with 10% transparency. That is what I just defined. So what we have here, if you have it up to 9, is 90% transparency. Okay, so I'm going to say select here, and then I'm come to the color, and then I will say self. I must not use self all the time. I can also call it side. That's side menu, right? That's the name, side menu. Okay, so I think I spelled this correctly. Side menu dot BG color, and that will give us the BG color we want. If we save it and go back to our application, we'll see that the BG color we have is there. Okay, we can also change the BG color by selecting this and then defining whatever color. Now, any color we define from here will be its color, but it will not change the library color, and it will not change the color in other screens. So let's say I have used this library, this same side menu here. You see that it will retain the default color, and the primary one, the screen one, will retain the color I've selected. If I come here and select a different color, say green, it will be green. If I go to screen one, it will be the color I chose. Now, the same component, but different behavior in different screen. Reusability, fantastic. Customizability, fantastic. You can do whatever you want to do wherever you want to do it, as long as you have your component available. There are much more that you can do here. Okay, so the title bar, I didn't put anything here. I can go back to my component, and then I can add additional customization. Now I set the background color to be black. I can make this maybe a bit of a different color, 203 and 257, 257, and maybe I will make this one 24, and that will give me a very light green, not a very light green, but a light green. Okay, and I want this to be my default color, but it shouldn't mean that I wouldn't be able to change it. Now, if I want to make this a color that I can change, the same way I created this, I can also come here and create a top menu or top nav BG color. Okay, so now once this is done, I change this data type to color, and then I click on create. So whatever color I select here, so if I go back to my nav again, select my field, excuse me, take this to save dot top nav color. Of course, there's no color now, so if I come here and provide the color, it will be the same color. And the next thing I want to do here is to insert a label. Okay, this label, I can call it anything, so expand it to the top. Please take control of how you place your components. Okay, I'm going to take this to the right, and then to the right part, I'm going to give this 100 pixel in, and then I'm going to make this big, and then the font is going to be 25. That's big enough, and then it's called test, but then I want to be able to provide it with the information I want it to be on. So I go to here, I go to the title bar, and then I say this is going to be the app title, and it's going to be a test. I let it be a test, and coming here, I would say self dot app title. that didn't actually work, or something was not created. So just one moment, let me be sure that actually got created. Yeah, app title, that was created. So I'm gonna come back here, save. Okay, yeah, I see. And then say self dot app title. So I see what is going on here. I need to reload this page for all this to take effect. So that's what's going on here. And whatever I save here now may not be able to save, but of course, I mean, you should understand what I have shown you so far.